Welcome to the tutorial for lesson 3. I am going to skip the areas on using grids for layout and go directly to using HTML tables for page layout. So lesson 3, we are going to go straight to page 134. Page 134 in your Adobe Go Live CS2 textbook, Classroom in a Book. File open, Adobe CIB through to lesson 3, and there is a table underscore finish.html. We're going to open this one up, and there we have it. So that is basically what we are going to be building and working with, and hopefully by the time we're all done we're going to have something that looks like that. So let's move on to page 135, and we'll go and get to work at building this page. So we go to File, Open, Table Start, and Open. Go to File, Save As. Let's call it Table 1. And save. Our objects palette is open, and the basic objects are open. And there's a table object sitting right here. And to make it work, drag and drop and put it in. Over in the inspector area, from step 6, it says change the rows field to 4 and the columns field to 2. In the width area, we need to change the table width to 600. And you can see it's split 50-50 between the two columns. If we click inside one of these cells, we can work with it, and you can go back and you can see the table, and you can click in the cell, and you can also change the individual things inside the cells if you need to. So we're going to click inside here, and we're going to go Control and Enter to select the top left cell, and we want to change the width from auto to pixel, and then type in a value of 145. And in the top right cell, we'll click in there, go to Special, and Table, and select Cell. The drop down here from auto to pixel, and it should stay 441. And then we're going to save. Over the page 138, it talks about working with cells and columns and rows in a table, as well as merging cells so that you can put content across a whole table. Page 140, in the middle, designing a layout using spans. So we're going to apply column and row spans as part of our layout. And I believe if we were to pick these two columns and right click, we can go merge cells. So that cell area is merged, and then these three in the bottom here will also merge those. Over on page 141 now, we're going to start to color these particular cells. We want window, tables and boxes. Using the select tab, select the first cell in the second row. Just hold shift and drag, and that will select those cells. And in the cell tab of the table inspector, there's a color area. We want the web named colors. We want to pick the, you have to keep on holding the mouse, the dark gray. In the table tab of the table inspector, we're going to change our border to 0. That's step 4. And in the cell padding field, we're going to change that to 10. And what cell padding does is it prevents text from being right up against the border. It creates some space between cell contents and the cell borders. Turning the page to step number 6, the cell space is going to be 0, and then we should be able to save that. Middle of page 142, creating and saving table styles. We have something that we could possibly or potentially use later on as far as a format like this or an overall construction or a layout is concerned, and then we could save it so that we can apply it to a table later on. So we've got the tables and boxes palette open, and we want to go to the table style tab and make sure that our table is selected by clicking in there. And at the bottom here, we're going to push the table. In the new table style, we're going to click that. We're going to type in basic table and click OK. And that will set up a style that we can use, something like Format Painter on a table later on if we should happen to want to do that. Next job is importing text into a table from page 143. You can import text or you can copy and paste. Let's double click on the table object.
Palette menu.
In the table inspector, the rows are 3, and that's done already. And let's click up in this cell here. And in the bottom here, we're going to click TD. That was step 5. Step 6, we're going to go to Special and Table and import a tab delimited text. And we're going to look for something called Tour. We're going to open it. And the text goes into that thing automatically. Now I think you might see that this is not fitting quite as well as it possibly should. So we might need to stretch your table out a little bit, and you can do this also by the kind of a drag and drop. Cell widths here can be changed automatic to specify a width. This one looks like it should be about 180. We can adjust these as we like. And if you change your cells from automatic to pixel, then you can adjust them. It looks good. We're going to change this one here. We'll merge the cells. And this one across the bottom here. We'll also merge our cells. And then we'll save. And that brings us to getting close to the bottom of page 145, where we're going to apply a table style. Our tables and boxes is open, and from the style drop down, we are going to pick blue. And we're going to click apply, except that we want it to be.
Make sure your cursor is in the top left cell of your table before you apply a style.
Placing text and images in the table, that is in the page 146. I'm going to minimize this up, or I'm going to close this table finish thing so it's out of the way. If we had a site thing open, we could drag and drop, but we don't have that option right now, so we're going to have to do the import, etc. So I'm looking at step 1, click in that area. Step 2, find the image box and double click it. Alternatively, you could just drag and drop. Click on the box and go to the inspector. On the basic tab, there's the source. We're going to browse and go find what that thing should be, and something called Vertex logo. And that is going to be in lesson 3 folder and probably in lesson 3 images. And there it is, Vertex logo GIF, and go open. In it goes. And click beside it and type in the place to learn technical skills. That brings us to page 147 on the top, and then we've got to apply cascading style sheet to the cell. We're going to go, and I think I'm going to close my table and boxes palette now, and I'm going to go to Window, and we're looking for CSS, and it's open, and it's down right here. I'm going to be in the cell that's containing the logo data. We are going to check the TD box at the bottom in headline. And notice it just applied the nice red text to that area. Now we are going to put some more images into this particular page. So I'm going to kind of minimize this from the side here. I might need to just navigate and put in our images, comme ça, and just browse. Let's see if we got any images then. Looking for images 1, 2, and 3. So open that one. Yep, that's the way we're going to have to do it. Drag and drop our images in. And browse. Image 2. And image 3. And there's our 3 images down the side. We have a bunch of text to put in underneath this table here. We could open that student.txt file in the lesson 3 folder. See if we can find that one. And it's this line here. Selected the information, Control-C copy, click where you want to place the text, Control-V paste. Or alternatively, if you like, edit copy, edit paste. And GoLive just opened it as a text document, so I can close it and I'm done with it. My CSS palette is still available. That is step number 9, and I am going to check the TD area here to the right of the style class named gray text. So right there, a cell, vertical arrangement, top, and file save.
In summary, in this lesson, we covered setting up a web page using a table. So putting the table on the page and then using the tools to place content into the various table cells, and then also using some of the formatting tools to format the content in the cells. And that is the end of what I wanted to show you in lesson 3. Thank you for watching.